You want some real talk? I'm ready for spring. Recently, I saw a social media post talking about the 18 seasons that Oregon experiences, and I think we're just past the fake spring season and directly into the more winter when it should be a warm season. Coming up next, pollen. So much pollen season. Can't wait for that. But you're here for a weather report of a different type. The real estate weather in the Pacific Northwest.
That's right.
I'm Beth. He's Terry. And we're over the cold, but we're happy to be with you. And better yet, live in video. Welcome to our new video version of Real Talk.
Yes, welcome.
Hey, Terry, welcome.
Well, thank you, Beth. Great intro. By the way, 18 seasons?
I think so.
Okay. Is that per day?
I mean, I
or-
counted them the other day, but it kind of ran into the following day. So maybe
Yeah.
48 hours, something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I think we know for sure that the Rose Festival Parade is sort of a line of demarcation.
Oh, right.
It doesn't really stop raining until during the Rose Festival Parade.
Right.
And from that point forward.
That is
So
true.
Keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what do you think one topic is that our listeners and viewers should focus on this month? How about that's the subject of our new segment, which we call
The Headline.
How
Dun, dun,
exciting.
dun. Love it.
Yes. So, the headline for this month's video podcast is just a little recap from the annual leadership retreat.
Okay.
You know, in the very early cold winter months of February, we get together with our board of directors, both our current board of directors as well as some of the key contributors from prior years.
Okay.
We meet off-site for a couple days, and we actually have an opportunity to talk about what's going on in this crazy real estate world that we're in,
Right.
as well as talk about, you know, what kind of projects do we have coming up, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this year specifically was really cool. You may have heard that there is a new version of RMLS Web on the way.
Right.
Now it's a ways out, so just to set realistic expectations, this is a big project.
Yes.
Did get a chance to see some of the screens and such, just static screens for the new product. Long ways off probably from being able to actually log in and poke around, but what I saw in static screens was really impressive, very clean design.
Yes.
You know, we're going to start with the mobile app.
Great.
I think that is the place that we're going to go first and get that sort of built and out there. You know, it's not easy replacing an MLS system.
No.
You know, wide and deep
Yes.
would be very accurate to describe MLS systems.
Yeah.
But we're just really excited and confident that you're going to enjoy the new system a lot.
Great.
Now, let's take a look at how real estate listings and sales looked in February. For Oregon, inventory sank a half of a month's supply. It fell back down to 3.1 months supply. You know, it's been a little bit up and down lately.
Yeah.
3.1 months supply, even though that has dropped a bit, is still pretty darn good
Sure.
in comparison. Every other category, so the number of listings, the number of sales, and prices all saw a nice gain. So everything else was up just a bit. Let's take a look at February of this year versus February of last year. How does it compare? Well, it really compares pretty favorably. Inventory was about 0.8 of a month's supply up over last year. To feed into that, active listings were up about 1,300 units. New listings, about 500 units. Average sales price went up about $9,000, and median jumped all the way up $13,000. So those prices just continue to climb. Jumping across the Columbia River over to our friends in the state of Washington, inventory took a bit of a tumble. It fell 0.8 of a month's supply down to 2.6 months total supply. Not quite as good as the Portland Metro and Oregon market, but not too bad. Every other category, however, other than active listings, which basically stayed the same, took some small steps up. Compared to February of last year, this February similarly offered varied results. We saw smaller gains than Oregon. Nevertheless, they were gains.
Yes.
Inventory nicely up 0.7 of a month's supply from last February. New and active listings are up a couple hundred each. And closed sales and median sales prices were flat. So unlike Oregon, where we saw pretty substantial increases in both categories, Washington stayed flat.
Okay.
Now, we have a few spikes. And we consider a spike a sharp rise or fall from the previous month. Honestly, for February, most of the spikes are not all that sharp.
Okay.
North Coast saw new listings go from 101 in January to 148 in February. That's pretty good.
Sure.
Yeah. Douglas County gained 40 more pending listings from the prior month. And check this out. Union's average sales price, so Union County's average sales price, almost doubled. Came close to hitting $500,000.
Wow.
Impressive.
Yes, it is.
Now for our streaks. And streaks, of course, are trends, contiguous, sustained momentum, etc. The active listings in Mid-Columbia were down for the 6th straight month. Douglas, Lane, Polk, and Marion counties also saw actives fall for the 5th straight month. So those are not necessarily good trends.
All right.
In our milestones segment, the only high points were for total market time. So I'm not sure that that's a milestone that we want to really shout from the rooftop about, but total market time was the highest for Coos County and Southwest Washington since 2020.
Okay.
Lane County since 2016.
Oh, wow.
And Portland Metro since 2014.
Ooh.
Yeesh. Yeah. So in those markets, you for sure need to be bracing your seller for the reality of a little bit more market time. Honestly, total market time is still not too bad.
Right.
It's still less than it was years ago, but it is climbing, most definitely. So sellers are starting to see their properties sit just a bit longer.
Right.
Over in the new construction area, in terms of new growth properties, a little bit of a mixed bag. Portland Metro is down 30 units from January to 283. Southwest Washington is up 20 spots to 163 units. And Lane County rose a whopping 2 spots
Ooh.
to 23 total units.
All right.
So that's basically the book on February of 2024. If any of those numbers seemed larger than last February, it's for good reason. You know why?
Why?
There was an extra day.
Oh, yes.
Oh, skewed the metrics
that
substantially.
absolutely made a
Yes.
difference.
Yes,
Well, thank you, Terry.
of course.
In terms of RMLS news, what's new is staring you right in the face. Real Talk is now on video, live. You get to see our lovely faces in our studio and more. You may even see some special guests, including our CEO.
Wow.
So stay tuned to that.
Oh, nice.
But seriously, we're not stopping here. We have new formats, and we want you to check back It's also a great time to be a Line Showings user, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
There are a bunch of new features, upgrades, and fixes on the way soon.
Nice.
From a scheduling showing for multiple listing numbers at a time to
Okay.
adding a total listing appointments counter on your email notifications.
Do
So
tell.
a
Ah,
Line
very
Showings
cool.
keeps getting better.
Yes.
And with that, we wish you warm tidings and warmer coats. And see you next month. Our final quote is from Robin Sharma. We are all here for some special reason. Stop being a prisoner of your past and become the architect of your future.
Oh, wow. Very profound.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank you, Beth.
Thanks for hanging out.
You bet. See you next
soon.
month.
Yeah.